Renan, você botou a música no forró ali na sua entrada, que era Tá Querendo O Que Novinha. Isso foi um recado pro McDonald's, que poderia ser o mais novo campeão do UFC. E outra coisa, eu queria que você comentasse, round por round, como foi, enfim, situações de perigo que você enfrentou e como você conseguiu superar.
The first question was, Renan, you played an unusual song, like, that the words meant, what do you want from me, young lady? Was it a message for McDonald's, not the lady, but not the age? Desculpa. That was the question.
Não, essa música é de uma banda da minha cidade, lá em Natal, no Rio Grande do Norte. E a luta foi dura, eu sabia que o McDonald's é um cara bem duro, um cara que tem a mão perigosa, a mão direita, então eu já vi com a estratégia toda montada. Os professores já tinham falado que ele era perigoso e para mim correr sempre pro meu lado direito, né, e ter cuidado com a mão dele ali, não ficar jabando tanto, me trocar tantos golpes ali, esperar mais ele vir me atacar, que ele se abrir um pouco, porque eu sabia que ele queria jogar a mão direita, então foi isso que eu fiz, só seguir estratégia e tentar ficar ali na briga corpo a corpo, que eu vi algumas lutas deles que ele estava a mão cansada, já se ficava um pouco fadigado, ficava um pouco mais lento na musculatura, então foi isso que aconteceu, eu só fiz o que minha equipe falou para me fazer, os professores, Jair, das Vendeiras, eu só segui a estratégia mais uma vez, graças a Deus deu tudo certo.
He answered both questions. For the first question about the song, said no, it had nothing to do with him, he just a band from his hometown, and he just felt like playing, that no, there's nothing to do with the fight or McDonald's or anything like that. And the second question was how he felt throughout the fight, what was his fault, his feelings, round by round. He didn't answer it, but round by round. But he said, I just followed my camping strategy. I knew it could be a long fight, so I kept my pace. And then throughout the fight, I felt that he was getting tired, and I was taking care of his overhand, right overhead, so I kept going. After the second round, in the beginning of the third, I felt he was getting tired and more tired. So I kept listening to my corners, and that I got a good result at the end of it.
Ok. Renan, Ilo Santiago, Direto Nordeste, Fortaleza, Brasil. Renan, você não acha que já estaria na hora do UFC fazer um evento no Nordeste do Brasil, já que você é daquela região, e metade dos lutadores brasileiros mais bem ranqueados são do Nordeste? E para o Dana White, gostaria de perguntar que circulou a notícia...
Just a second. This is my question to Renan. He's asked about Renan thoughts. So if he believes that now is the time now for the UFC to stage a show in the northeast of Brazil, where most of the Brazilian fighters come from.
Eu acho que seria ótimo se tivesse uma oportunidade de poder lutar lá no Nordeste, né? Eu acho que eu fiz grandes lutas lá no começo e eu acho que seria mais um sonho realizado aí na minha vida.
He said, it would be great now if the UFC could stage a show in the northeast part of Brazil. That it would be like a dream come true, not only for him, but for everybody in the region.
Para Dana White.
Yes, for me.
Dana, circulou uma notícia essa semana sobre Jaraguá do Sul receber o UFC em maio e Fortaleza receber a final do TUF. Você confirma essa informação?
He's asking the question that if it is true that the next show in Brazil is going to be in Jaraguá do Sul, and if the TUF final is going to be in Fortaleza, Brazil.
Don't know yet. We're still working on it, but I say it all the time. Brazil is the hottest market in the world right now, by far the hottest market in the world. And we were literally taking this thing all over the country. It's taking us time to build the infrastructure there. We're still working on getting our feet on the ground in Brazil, opening the office and getting things running the way it should be. Lorenzo is going to be spending a lot of time in Brazil over the next couple of years.
Question for Tom. Tom, in the past, you've been pretty vocal about the people who you like to fight. One person springs to mind in particular, Hector Lombard. Has your feelings changed towards Hector, or is there anything else that you might want to add to certain things you've said in the past about him?
I'm not sure why. In the past, I called him out because we were both outside the UFC, and he was the biggest name outside the UFC. I don't have a personal issue with him. I think he's a beast. I think he's very impressive, and I think really he's further up the middleweight division than me right now. But I don't care. Whatever Joe Silva says, I'll do it. It really makes no difference to me.
Question for Dana White. Dana, you mentioned TRT just now, and just keeping on that theme for a moment, that obviously eventually the the wish is to eradicate all kind of banned substance taking in sport. Would you like, some people think obviously the UFC is the company that tests fighters, it isn't, it's the commissions. Would you like to see every fighter who you sign up on any contract sign up to the voluntary anti-doping agency so that they're all randomly tested? And in that way, there's a kind of transparent procedure for these guys being clean.
I always tell you guys we're regulated by the government. We have the strictest regulation in sports. Okay? If the other sports were under the same regulations we are, there'd be a lot of guys getting busted left and right in other sports, you know? And not to take a jab, I'm just being honest. The TRT thing is legal. The commission lets guys use testosterone replacement therapy. I believe that guys are cheating on it. I truly believe that guys are cheating on it. And I don't like to see a natural gifted athlete go in and fight against a guy who has been jacked up on TRT for 3 months. And you know, the other problem with TRT, the other problem that I have, you get 4 guys together, 4 smart guys who can have a educated conversation about testosterone replacement therapy, they'll give you 4 different answers. Okay? So when it's that vague and that many people don't understand it, nanograms and this ratio to that ratio and all this bullshit, okay? When you sit down and you start talking about it, it's not fair. It's not fair. And if your testosterone level isn't high enough, maybe you're too old to fight.
But if everyone is signed up to the voluntary anti-doping agency, then they're open.
That's all. Yeah, that's all. We're talking a whole nother ballgame here. Okay. I come out and talk about TRT. You guys go, let's go here. You know what I mean? We're regulated by the government. I'm saying that testosterone replacement therapy is legal. Well, I think we should test guys all the way up until their fight to make sure that the entire training camp, their limits are where they're supposed to be. They're at the legal limits, their whole camp. You know, if that now means going to VADA and we got to test every fighter under the, you know, and they all have to go through this VADA, I mean, come on. Baby steps, boys. Baby steps there.
And finally, I know the UFC had meetings with like the world governing body that's coming together for the sport, IAAF, this week. What has gone on in the UK this week that wasn't going on at the beginning of the week to progress the whole scenario here in this part of the world?
Well, like I said this whole week, you know, putting Gary in place here. Gary's been out here working not just in the UK, but all over Europe, South Africa, and other places in the world. But he's getting us closer to a television deal that we need here. That's been the problem. We're 6-7 years behind in this UK market, behind where we should be, you know. And he's here. When we're done with this thing, if anybody wants to talk to Gary and get more insight on what his plans are for the next couple of years here in the UK, feel free. Grab him, call him. He's got all the answers.
I've got a question for Cub. Cub, what's changed with you? You know, you last year, this year now as well, you're just on an absolute steam, and you know, what's changed with you mentally or physically, or what's changed in your camp to suddenly switch you on like this?
I'm just not messing around anymore. With my, like I said before, with my injury, I almost retired. I know that this can be done at any moment. Every fight, I take it like it's my last. You know, I got metal plates in my face, and I know that, you know, with another serious injury, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. So I take every fight like it's my last, and I want everybody to feel what I went through with my opponents. I try to put that anger in there. And that's just the other side of me that comes out.
Where did you put yourself in the division now? And what fight do you want next?
None of that matters to me right now. I'm just happy to be entertaining the crowd and fighting the best. I want to be the best, and I just want to fight the best.
Disappointed not to take home that knockout in the night bonus? That was, you've 2 in a row so far. So.
Yeah, I had him rocked a few times, and I thought I was going to finish him, but he was tough. But back to the drawing board.
And just before, one quick question for Jimmy. The guy touched on it a little bit earlier, but we also tweeted that to the fans, saying he wants to see Manoa against Tahuna next. And is that something that interested you? Would you fancy that fight?
I don't mind whoever the UFC says, but I've done a bit of training and got a little collaboration going on together, but whatever, it's business, isn't it?
You had some moves there tonight as well, and I know you've done a bit of work with Rampage during this camp and stuff, and now big role was he in, you know, in coming into this fight, there's a few little moves there.
Yeah, a few tricks I used, like catching the knee for the takedown and stuff like that, so yeah.
Let's take 2 more questions.
Okay, so follow up for Jimmy. I can't decide if you look like a man who's happy that he's gone 2-0 in UFC or a man who looks like he's got $50,000 stolen off him. You feel like you had the knockout taken away from you tonight?
A little bit. I wanted to knock him out. I think I had him where I wanted him at the end of the first round. And I'm kind of pissed he didn't come out for the second round, so I could finish him. But you know, congratulations to Tom.
Thanks, buddy.
One more question. Right there?
Okay.
Or we got somebody in the back? Who's got it? Okay, we'll go you and then we'll go you and then.
Renan, você saiu do octógono, primeiro parabéns. Segundo, você saiu do octógono falando, pedindo pro Dominique, pelo Dominique. Eu tô esperando você, eu tô esperando você. Eu queria saber quais são seus planos depois dessa luta e se você aceitaria encarar um outro lutador que não fosse o Dominique Cruz agora, de novo, pelo cinturão interino. Obrigada.
Congratulations, and after the fight, you know, you're calling for Dominic. I want Dominic, please Dominic, you'll come quickly. And what do you feel about that, you know, if Dominic is not ready? Would you take another fight?
Primeiramente, obrigado. E o objetivo é lutar com o Dominique agora, com certeza. Mas se tiver que ter algum compromisso pelo UFC, de lutar com outro atleta, eu sou empregado do UFC e estou aí para lutar, para mostrar meu trabalho da melhor forma possível, mais uma vez. Estou aí sempre treinando e estou aí preparado. Quando me chamarem, eu estou pronto.
And my objective is to fight Dominic, but no, I'm an employee of the UFC, I'm a fighter, and I fight whoever that the UFC says I should fight.
Just a question for Dana. Dana, one of the judges in the males and riddle fight scored the fight 29-28 to Che. What was your take on that?
I mean, what do you say to that? You know. It's just, I mean, it's insane. I mean, there's nothing shocking anymore. It's just like, wow.
Was there a mistake?
Yeah, it was a mistake making that guy a judge. Yes. I mean, it's crazy. Some of the stuff that, you know, what fight was it? Let me ask you guys a question. One of the fights that I was watching, Andy Ogle and Grisby. Who do you give the first round of Andy Ogle and Grisby? Anybody remember that?
Triangle, Grisby.
You give Grisby? Yeah. See, now that's interesting. Now, to me, in that first round, now 2 judges gave it to Grisby and 1 judge gave it to Ogle. In my opinion, Grisby got him in a triangle, remember? Ogle slams him. The entire round, Ogle is on top, punching him in the face, while Grisby's legs are wrapped up around his neck. Ogle landed 30-something unanswered shots to the body and to the head. Yet 2 judges give it to Grisby, and some people here thought Grisby won too. Grisby didn't land any shots. Grisby laid there in a triangle that he didn't pull off, and half of the round his legs were open and weren't even in a submission. Yet the whole time Andy Ogle was punching, elbowing to the body and face. I gave the first round to Andy Ogle. So then I said, I gotta see what these judges, what they gave him. And 2 gave it to Grisby and 1 gave it to Ogle. So sometimes it is tough to you know, because I wanted to ask the media that and see what you guys thought of that fight, because the first round I absolutely 100% gave to Ogle. So I gave all 3 rounds to Andy Ogle. So, it's tough. All right, one more. What do you got? Yep, you.
We've heard the talks about the UFC TV deal changing, and there's also a new arena opening up in Scotland. Is that going to make maybe a show in Scotland possible?
To put a show in Scotland? Yeah.
There's a new arena just opening up?
What Gary's working on right now is he wants to put together dates London, Dublin, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Manchester, all these destinations. Set a 3-year schedule where they're the same dates every year. We go to these same places, and not just events, but big events with expos around them and things like that. So yeah, Scotland too.
Scottish market would love that.
What's that?
The Scottish market would love that.
Yeah, so will we, brother. Believe me, we're long overdue. Thank you guys so much for your support. We appreciate it. Have a good night.